Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. It is Saturday morning, and that can only mean one thing. We have a book review for you. And we have a fantastic book. I've read this book within 2 days, and I wanted to share it with you. There's another book I've got lined up as well that I should be doing, but I wanted to get this book review out to you quickly now. I'm bringing up a page. Here we go. So it's called The Unfair Advantage, and it's from a guy called Ash and Hasan. And these two are just brilliant human beings. But above all, I love what they're doing with this book. So it's about startups. And by the way, you don't need to be a startup. You don't need to be in business to read this book. This just tells you the principles of what they are looking for, what the startup life is like, what the entrepreneurial life is like. And I think they pretty much nail it. For me, on my journey, the biggest takeaway for me is it's lonely. It is really lonely. And that's exactly what they say. I don't mean lonely as in, oh, woe is me. And it's a bad type of lonely, because I love it. I love my little cave. I'm in my man cave and doing what I'm doing. But it is lonely. You're on your own. And just last night, for example, I came in, I was working till 9:30 last night because I went to the horse racing with the kids during the daytime. And I came in, she goes, oh, yeah. The wife said, Claire said to me, oh, was it for me? I said, yeah, well, I've got this problem, I've got that problem, I've got this problem, I've got this problem. She goes, you can talk to me now. And all of a sudden it was a light bulb moment, thinking, holy shit, I don't actually talk to anybody when there's a problem, when we've got deals to do, when things are happening. I don't talk to anybody. I don't mention it to anybody, because I don't think that anybody will get it. I don't think anybody will appreciate it. I don't think that anybody will really care about the intricacies of entrepreneurship, of business. And so I just bottle it up. And so, yes, it's lonely on that sense, but I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me or feel sorry for these guys, because it is a beautiful journey. It's not for everybody, but it certainly is for me. And I absolutely love it. So anyway, what is this book about? Well, this book is about startups. It's about, and by the way, I'm going to get to why these guys are fantastic at marketing as well later on. I'm going to write that down here, marketing, just so I don't forget it, because it's just come to me when I've been preparing for this podcast. I've realized that, wow, these guys are genius marketers with this book. Right. So this book is all about startups and the life and the journey of a startup entrepreneur. And it's not meaning that I always say, who should read this book? Well, anybody who's interested in business. It doesn't have to be technically a startup, but anybody who's interested in business. I got so many takeaways for me and my business, about my mindset and who I am and my unfair advantages. I've never really thought of them as unfair advantages before. What makes me different? What makes me special? However, I also want to get across that just because I believe I have unfair advantages, you might look at your life and think, well, I don't have any unfair advantages. I promise you, you do. And when you look at this book, they map it out for you. They go through and they give you examples of people who have been in hardship when they've been growing up and they've achieved massive, massive success, because what you perceive is a negative is actually an unfair advantage. It materializes, it grows, it blossoms to an unfair advantage. And this is what these guys have done. They've mapped it all out for us. So straight away, they say, what you'll find out in this book is, number one, a strong understanding for what an unfair advantage is. Yes. I never realized that. But yeah, I've got so many unfair advantages. Number two, how to find and use your unfair advantages. Number three, how to get you going on this journey. Honestly, read this book. If anybody has any inkling and want to start a business, I get so many messages from people who are unhappy in their job and they want to start a business. They want to go down the business path. Read this book first. Zach, Kai, you must read this book, The Unfair Advantage. You must read it. You will get something out of it. Even if you're in business, then I promise you, you will get something out of this book. So the people who should read this book are somebody who wants to be in business or anybody in business. It doesn't matter if you're not in startup phase. I don't class myself in startup phase at the minute. However, I got so much out of this book because I realized what my unfair advantages are. And I just enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the stories of other people. And it really shows you that, yes, there's luck in business. I always say that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for luck. And there is massive luck. I 100% say that my upbringing, the situation, even the town. For example, in self-storage, the town, I live in Beverley, 30,000 population, and it had no self-storage. I didn't know that. All I knew is I didn't know the criteria of self-storage, like 0.74 square foot per person. If it's less than that, then guess what? Go for it. There's definitely room for another self-storage. I didn't know any of that. All I knew was, oh, self-storage in Beverley might work. That's it. I got lucky. And then my second self-storage, the closest city to me from Beverley is Hull. And it so happened that Hull was the most underserviced city in the whole of the UK for self-storage. Look. And yes, you've got to grab that luck, and you've got to work hard, and you've got to really materialize it and make sure you do everything you can to make sure you turn that luck into success. But there's got to be a huge amount of luck. But I promise you as well, you will have luck. There's a story in the book about somebody who walks past the fiver and somebody who doesn't walk past the fiver and sits down next to a businessman. I haven't wrote anything on this. It's just a reminder for me. And basically, if you think you're lucky, that story suggests that you will be more lucky because you'll be open to luck. You'll be open to the options and opportunities that come your way. If you're not lucky, if you don't think you're lucky, then guess what? You walk straight past luck. You walk straight past that fiver on the floor. It's a great little story about luck. I believe that I am massively lucky, and I'm sure it helps me in my life believing that as well. So yes, there is luck. I wrote down here, I put, there is massive luck to success, and I put, speak about my luck. Okay, so when I grew up, I was from a stable family. I come from a white background. I'm in the UK. My dad owns a business. So very early on, I saw how businesses give you freedom, give you money. They also give you stress, obviously. You got to work hard for it. But I saw my dad be a successful businessman. I always remember on holiday this one time, and I was asking my dad about money and how come we can afford this and this, and he was telling me, well, it's because I own a business. And I was sat there, I was overlooking the pool on this balcony, when my sisters was at the show, and we was just sat there. I said, well, Dad, how can I make money? What can I do? What business can I start? And we started talking, we started mapping out things. And I remember it as clear as day. I love that moment. And we decided then it was good for me to open a t-shirt shop. And we was going to start selling t-shirts, and I was going to put different logos on and different sayings. And we never did it. We never did it because I was really, really young. But I remember the feeling that gave me, that buzz, that excitement. Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm actually genuinely getting goosebumps right now thinking about that chat with my dad. It was an unbelievable moment. And so I am very, very lucky to have all that, and the list goes on, etc., etc., etc. The business, the people who have bootstrapped my company with me have a lot been, one, my friends, but again, I wouldn't be in the social circle if it wasn't for my upbringing, and also my dad's people he knows who have then believed in me, because they only believe in me because I've started talking to them because I'm my dad's son. And so there's got to be so much luck involved in business. And I want to sit here and say, yes, 100%. If I was born in another environment at another time, then I wouldn't have been as successful. Absolutely not. With the betting shops, when I had betting shops, yes, if I was 10 years earlier, I'd be a multimillionaire now. However, if I was 10 years later, setting up a betting shop, I couldn't have made it work. I got out just at the perfect time when corals came in, because I knew it was all going digitalized. But when I first set up in 2007, I believe it was, or 2006, there was a need and a want for betting shops on street corners. So we opened up a betting shop. And that's, if anybody doesn't know, that's how I got into, that's the only thing I was good at school. I was not good at school. I used to twag, I used to go to races, and I used to be good at gambling and betting and understanding the odds, the mathematics of it all. And so we opened betting shops. And so, yes, I was very, very lucky in doing that as well, because I opened at exactly the right time. And then I got out exactly the right time because I knew it was all going online. And again, a lot of luck there. And so you have to have the luck. It's not all about luck as well. It's about timing. Like I say, because my timing with self-storage has been perfect. If I'd have started looking for self-storage facilities now in Beverley, guess what? There's another 2 other self-storages in Beverley. There's more in Hull as well. So it has to be about timing. My skills, I often say that you've got to be humble, because my skills right now, what I've got, if you give me my skills and put me born in the 1920s, I wouldn't be successful. I wouldn't be successful. You put my skills now and put me in the Stone Age, I wouldn't be successful. I would not be successful. I am only successful, in brackets, what you call successful, because, and we're talking business success here, we're not talking family success, relationship success, or anything like that. I'm just talking business success or financial success. Then the only reason it's deemed as successful is because I was born in the exact right time for my skill set. If I was born any later, who knows? Who knows? But I know if I was born 30, 50 years ago, I probably wouldn't have worked out life. So again, a lot of luck. Another thing that I want to talk about is the 3 Fs when you're funding your business. I love this. Your 3 Fs, your family, friends, and fools. And it's a play on word with fools, because obviously you need to, it's saying that basically you need to be a bit foolish to invest in a startup. So there's 3 ways to get your money, first of all: family, friends, and fools. I love that. What else have we got to talk about? I want to talk about really quickly about the marketing of this book as well, because these guys are amazing. I put here the 10 things. They literally, I suppose this 10 things comes hand in hand with the marketing of his book. They literally have given you the script, how to approach them. They've said, look, here's the 10 things you need to mention when you're approaching an investor, because these guys are investors now in other people's startups and other people's businesses. And they have literally said, they basically, I haven't said it in so many words, but they're saying, listen, if you want us to invest in your company, then here's the 10 things that we want to know about your business. The 10 things we want to know. And then at the end, 5 minutes later, they say, if you want to contact us, here's our email list. Here's our emails. We always reply to everybody, or we try to reply to everybody. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys are absolute geniuses. Anybody who's reading this book, so they're sorting through to find their avatar. So they know the people who are reading this book are their perfect avatar. There are people interested in startups, or having startups, or are in business, or want to get into business. And so they are literally nailing it down. Anybody who's reading this book is their perfect avatar to invest in. And they are telling you, rather than going through tens and hundreds of emails of unscripted nonsense, they're actually saying, look, this is how you script it to us. And so they know exactly what they're looking for. They have told you the script, what they want to see, to get in touch with them and send it to them. I mean, I think, and giving you their email addresses, I think this is absolutely wonderful. They might have a team of people who vet their emails first of all and say, I tell you what, look, here's one. They've met all our 10 criteria. They've clearly listened to the book. They've put the homework in. And so we want to take a close look at this. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, gentlemen. And I honestly praise it. I'm trying to find the names. Yeah, Ash and Hasan, take a bow, because that is wonderful. And for me, it's thinking outside the box, and it's using this book. Yes, it's going to help people, but it's also going to help them as well. And that is beautiful synergy. And I just love it. So I hope you've got the point here that I really enjoyed this book. I really, really enjoyed this book. And I believe that anybody in business, or wanting to start a business, or anybody in a startup, can get a massive amount of value out of this book. And this is one of the books that I'm going to make sure my kids read. Obviously, as you guys know, this podcast is for my kids. And kids, Zach, Kai, when you grow older, you must read this book, because it'll give you such an insight as well. And it'll also give you an insight about what you need to work on, whether you're an extrovert, introvert, etc., and all these Myers-Briggs tests, etc. And it'll also tell you where your shortcomings are, and where that you might need to team up with somebody else who's more of an extrovert or an introvert than you, or understands software better than, I don't know. But it's a great book. It's a great read. It's something that everybody will get something out of. It's mapped out beautifully well. It's choreographed, excellent. And yeah, I fully recommend this book. So it's called The Unfair Advantage. Get this book, guys. All right, guys, girls, thank you so much for listening. And thank you, guys, for writing that book. I thought that book was amazing. All right, my friends, thank you so much. Don't forget, another episode tomorrow, and where we will be talking about, do you know what? I haven't got it up. I don't know what we'll be talking about tomorrow, but it'll be something, somebody's quote of the day. Can't remember, but it'll be something good. It'll be something worthwhile listening to. All right, my friends, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep smiling. Enjoy life. See you soon.